Welcome back, Marvel fans, to One Movie Recap Plus. Today, we're diving into one of the most epic and mind-bending films in the X-Men series, X-Men, Days of Future Past. This movie takes us on a wild ride through time, where the stakes are higher than ever as the X-Men fight to change the past to save the future. With an all-star cast, incredible action, and a story that brings together both the original and new generations of mutants, this is one recap you don't want to miss. So let's jump into the time-traveling adventure that redefined the X-Men universe. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your favorite X-Men moment. Your support helps us keep bringing you the best recaps and more. In the future, all mutants and any humans who try to assist them are being wiped off by robots called Sentinels. With the aid of Kitty Pryde Ellen Page, who has the ability to transport a person's mind into the past, a group of mutants manage to escape the Sentinels in Moscow. She sends one of the mutants into the past after the Sentinel assault to alter some events such that the current events do not even occur. At a Chinese monastery, Pryde's gang meets Storm Hallaberry, Wolverine Hugh Jackman, Professor Xavier James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart, and Magneto Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen. To stop Mystique Jennifer Lawrence from killing Bolivar Trask Peter Dinklage, the man who invented the Sentinels, Pryde transports Wolverine's mind back to 1973. After the murder, Mystique was taken prisoner and her DNA was used by Trask's organization to construct Sentinels, who are almost unstoppable due to their capacity to adapt to any mutant capability. Wolverine is advised by Magneto and Xavier to locate their younger selves and ask for assistance. Logan is running out of time since Sentinels will inevitably locate the mutants in China. Once they do, Pryde will be too busy projecting Logan into the past to be able to project anybody else. Thus, the mutants won't be able to escape. Furthermore, Logan alone will remember the truth. Everything else will become history and be the only history that the outside world will ever know. When Wolverine reanimates in 1973 into his younger form, his claws are still the ones he was born with, not the ones William Stryker made. He meets Beast and Xavier in the X-Mansion. Due to the fact that the majority of the faculty and students were recruited into the Vietnam War, Xavier's Institute for Gifted Children has closed. Now a damaged man, Xavier is abusing a drug that suppresses his telepathy and lets him walk after he was shot and rendered immobile during the Cuban Missile Crisis. In order to help Magneto escape from a jail cell under the Pentagon, where he is being detained for supposedly killing President John F. Kennedy, this explains the magic bullet idea. A bullet with a curved path that killed JFK. Wolverine explains his goal and convinces Xavier to assist. With the aid of Peter Maximoff, a mutant with exceptional speed, they manage to save Magneto. Trask tries in vain to persuade Congress to back his Sentinel program in Washington, D.C., but the Defense Committee refuses to finance a program that targets its own people and is not persuaded that mutants pose a danger to civilization. In the meanwhile, Mystique stops Josh Helman's character, William Stryker, from kidnapping several mutant GIs for Trask's experiments in Saigon. When Mystique looks inside Trask's office, she finds that he has been ensnaring mutants for scientific purposes. She also learns that Trask is planning to assassinate him in Paris during a meeting with the Vietnamese generals. In order to intercept Mystique, Xavier, Magneto, Beast, and Wolverine take out for Paris. Magneto informs Charles aboard the aircraft that, prior to JFK being removed, he was attempting to rescue JFK, not killing him. He says that JFK was also a mutant. Mystique poses as a commander from South Vietnam in order to get Trask into the Paris Peace Accords so he may market his Sentinel technology to communist countries. Right as Trask is about to be killed by Mystique, Xavier, Magneto, Beast, and Wolverine arrive. Mystique leaps out of a window after Magneto attempts to murder her so that her DNA cannot be utilized for the Sentinels. When the altercation moves outside in front of onlookers, Charles attempts to defend Mystique while Magneto tries to murder her, which lets Magneto and Mystique get away. In the future, Pryde's hold on Logan begins to wane, and as a result, Pryde is hurt. The world is appalled by the presence of mutants, but Trask is rescued. Trask's Sentinel program is approved by President Richard Nixon, who also plans an unveiling event. The blood of Mystique is recovered from the street by Trask scientists. After finding Eric, Magneto, Mystique confronts him about his assault on her. Trask now possesses Mystique's blood, so Magneto says, so they must act quickly while they still have the advantage. Mystique consents to back Magneto. Magneto, in the meanwhile, intercepts the prototype Sentinels in transportation and ties their steel-based polymer frames, giving him power over them. Magneto has regained his telepathy-blocking helmet. After stopping the serum in the mansion, Xavier gradually regains his mental abilities but loses his ability to walk. Xavier communicates with his future self via Wolverine, and he is motivated to strive for re-establishing harmony between humans and mutants. He tracks Mystique, who is traveling to Washington, D.C. using Cerebro. Nixon presents the Sentinel prototypes in the White House as Xavier, Wolverine, and Beast look for Mystique. Disguised as a member of the Secret Service, Mystique attempts to assassinate Nixon, but Xavier discovers her plan in time, foils it, and convinces her that it would be wrong to kill Trask or the president. After seizing control of the Sentinels and attacking the Throng, Magneto surrounds the White House with a barrier made of the Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium. Nixon and Trask are led to a safe room along with members of the cabinet, Secret Service agents, and Mystique, who is posing as a Secret Service agent. Magneto tosses Wolverine into the Potomac River after setting up a Sentinel against Wolverine and Beast in an attempt to stop them. In the future, when a sizable army of Sentinels attacks the monastery, the X-Men make their last stand. When Magneto takes the safe room out of the White House in 1973, he gets ready to murder Nixon and his cabinet. Using a toy pistol, Mystique, posing as Nixon, renders Magneto unconscious. Mystique and Magneto are able to escape when Xavier convinces her to spare Trask. Because of the perception that Mystique's efforts saved the president, the Sentinel program was cancelled. Trask's attempt to sell US military secrets results in his imprisonment. When Wolverine awakens in the future, he discovers that Jean Grey, Cyclops, Xavier, Iceman, Rogue, Colossus, Pride, Beast, and Storm are all still alive. In 1973, Mystique assumes the identity of Stryker and kidnaps Wolverine. Themes: Determinism versus Free Will. Movie explores the questions of whether people can alter their fate or whether the future is predetermined. Wolverine's desire to change the past raises the concerns of whether destiny is predetermined or whether decisions may really change the course of history. Atonement and pardoning. A number of characters struggle with their previous deeds and want for atonement, most notably Professor X, Magneto, and Mystique. The movie investigates whether it is possible to fully atone for past transgressions and if forgiveness is possible. The Price of War. The grim future in which mutants are persecuted to almost extermination serves as a vivid illustration of the negative effects of warfare motivated by fear. The Sentinels, who depict real-life issues of discrimination and the effects of unbridled militarism, stand for the extreme extent communities will go to when driven by fear and hate. Acceptance and identity. The character arc of Mystique is essential to the identity idea. Her battle to be accepted for who she is in her battle with her mutant identity speak to larger themes of self-acceptance and defiance of social standards that dictate compliance. Harmony and discord. A recurrent topic is the conflict between Magneto's conviction in mutant supremacy and Professor X's vision of peaceful coexistence. The movie emphasizes the need for unity in the face of outside dangers, but it also shows how hard it can be to maintain unity when values diverge. Give up in the future timeline. The mutants are prepared to give up everything, even their lives, in order to alter history and guarantee a brighter tomorrow. The film's overarching subject of sacrifice emphasizes the toll that fighting for a cause has on one's life. Effects and heritage. X-Men, Days of Future Past was acclaimed for its intricate storyline, potent performances, and the expert merging of the two X-Men casts. It was a critical and financial triumph. The X-Men cinematic universe's history was skillfully reset by the movie, clearing the door for fresh tales and eliminating some of the less well-liked aspects of earlier entries. Notable for its ambitious storyline and the way it handled its ensemble cast, it continues to be one of the most renowned X-Men films. The picture stands out not just in the superhero category but also in contemporary science fiction movies because of its examination of time travel and deeper philosophical themes. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you're new here, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Your support means a lot to me and helps me create better content. Feel free to drop a comment below.